Hello and welcome to a presentation of the Southwest Transit Project team. So after evaluating each person within the original 5-person group for Southwest Transit's project team, it was chosen to keep the members Natalie, Bob, Elizabeth, and William. So as discussed by Griffin et al. 2019, several factors can impact the team's work, including lack of maturity among the team members, and even factors such as group size can affect a group's ability. So when it comes down to it, he goes on to say that in certain situations, groups of 3 to 4 work best. So we lowered from a 5-person group to a 4-person group. So we have Natalie, who's been at the company for 2 years, Bob, who's been at the company since the beginning, Elizabeth, who's been at the company for 4 years, and William, who's been at the company for a little more than 4 years. So the 4 members, like we said, who we kept were Natalie, Elizabeth, Bob, and William. But one of the big questions is, why would we keep these members? So one of the main reasons we decided to keep Natalie is that she's a natural leader, somebody who the group will need in such a time crunch with this project and having to save the company. Next, we have Bob. So he is a veteran employee and he knows how these projects work. He is able to take his understanding from working at the company for so long and help some of his younger counterparts on the team. Next, we have Elizabeth, who has one of the more important qualities on this team, which is emotional intelligence, which can help the team understand one another in the event of a conflict. And then last, we have William. So he's very level-headed and works well with others and is willing to help whenever is needed, a perfect neutral middle ground for this group. So when it comes to lowering from a 5-person team to a 4-person team, the most difficult thing to do is come down to one person who will not be continuing with the team. So originally our team was Natalie, Caitlin, Elizabeth, Bob, and William, and it did come down to 2 people who we had to choose between, and that was Natalie or Caitlin. This is understandably tough when choosing. I did end up choosing Natalie because she did not conflict as much with the other members as Caitlin did. It is challenging regarding team selection as each member brought their purpose and work ethic and motivating others, and having to narrow a group down can cause stress upon the remaining members as they feel they may be taking on more work. So Natalie and Caitlin, they both had their separate cons that we had to take into consideration. Natalie sometimes has a negative attitude toward her colleagues and thinks that they monopolize time by talking too much and not working hard enough, while Caitlin is very unwilling to yield to any conflict when there is within a group setting. So we ended up choosing Natalie over Caitlin. So Caitlin, we find, would have more conflicts with other members, and it wouldn't just be Natalie she'd be conflicting with. She also does not like to be given tasks that are not her original idea, and she prefers that it has to be her way or the highway. So according to the Southwest Transit team members' profiles, there are common strengths within this team, which include being team-oriented, demonstrating their ability to work well with each other, including things like they all harbor positive attitudes and can be effectively communicating with others. They are flexible and can adopt as needed. And lastly, one of the big ones is they're all dependable and can be counted on to get the work done. There are some potential weaknesses that they all share as well when it comes to handling conflict. They may require an outside manager to check in on the group and ensure no conflict arises. And since they all have varying motivations, wanting different things for themselves, it can be challenging for a group project, but nothing can be prevented by effective communication. So going through each of the pros and cons of each member, we have Natalie, who's an excellent communicator. She's very charismatic, loves to talk, and she is a team player. But some of the cons, like we said, she's overly competitive. She might be resentful toward her colleagues, and she prefers written communication over face-to-face communication. Bob is positive attitude, he has simple motivations, he's eager to please, while some people say he's a little nonchalant, and sometimes he does take on too much work, which does lower the quality of the work sometimes. We have Elizabeth, who loves collaboration, loves working in groups. She's very flexible, she's very diplomatic, but we can see that she has weak skill development, so she kind of sticks with what she knows, and she is strongly opinionated when it does come to certain ideas and opinions. For William, like Bob, he is a veteran, but specifically in his area of expertise, he's very personable and he sympathizes with people very easily. But when it does come to conflict, he does shut down. He is a perfectionist when it comes to his work, and he is only motivated through value. So if he sees no value in the project, he will not put as much effort into it. So when it comes to the team's potential, the management team, through its support and guidance, can help the team navigate these challenges and recognize its potential, demonstrating its ability to develop a marketing strategy that will keep customers engaged. So the project management will feel this team is motivated, eager, and reliable. And like we said, they have the potential to easily navigate through challenges, finish by the proposed deadline, and help save the company. So I'm going to direct your attention over here to our graphic. So as motivation is a key factor in group success, it is important to note that the organization's potential for success is compromised when employees experience job dissatisfaction and lack of motivation to fulfill their tasks and achieve their goals, as Adenu said 2024. The company and its managers must recognize that this team is doing its best and working hard to support the company, but individual motivations can drive them to success, and it can be small things, even like individual recognition in a quiet manner. While within a group, it's best that they create a culture that respects each other's ideas and continues to communicate freely and openly while keeping the work purposeful. Each member should understand the importance of the project. This should be a motivation. To frame these motivations correctly, like I said, we're going to direct our attention over to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs so we can understand it better. As Griffin et al. 2019 explains, human beings are wanting animals. They have innate desires to satisfy a given set of needs. Each member has a different need. Some have a need for incentives or growth, such as Natalie or Bob, while others need to feel a sense of belonging, recognition, and appreciation, such as Elizabeth and William. So as this team does value conscious capitalism, because they're not only working to better themselves, but they're also having to take a step back and doing it for the good of the company. And the tenets of the stakeholders influence the decision by the employees to undertake this project, while also aiming to retain many of the employees who might lose their jobs if the project weren't successful. Not only that, it also appeals to customers who use this form of travel. So it is important to remember that with conscious capitalism, there are main pillars that if they are forgotten, it was not going to be good. So one of the tenets or forgotten stakeholders is forgotten or neglected, then the system will suffer long term and the business will not operate to its highest potential, as Schwabel 2013 said. This involves understanding the needs of the customers, employees, and team members and how they all impact each other. So the 4 pillars that we were talking about is higher purpose. So this group is working for the greater good of the company for future success. We have stakeholder orientation, so we consider the needs of all the parties, including this group, the customers, and the company as a whole. Conscious leadership, so the company is value-driven, reflecting in the choice of employees of the group, and allowing a free exchange of ideas can lead to a better group dynamic. And then we have conscious culture. So one thing that we did notice when putting this group together is we did emphasize collaboration between the various ages and backgrounds when they're going to be working in this group together. And so for each member, there are separate factors that make them more valuable for the company. So for Natalie, she'll be able to showcase her best skills, such as communication, show her hard work that helped her grow. In Bob's case, he wants to feel valued and respected by the company since he is a long-term employee, and his appreciation by the company will make his retirement that he's coming up on feel meaningful. For Elizabeth, this project provides an opportunity to refine her leadership skills and demonstrate her ability to work effectively on projects with others while establishing trust with upper management for future challenges that she can solve. And lastly, William can find a new purpose at work by collaborating with others, which he enjoys, and it also allows him to demonstrate his ability to motivate and mentor some of the younger employees. This group can have a positive impact on the company in various ways. The company demonstrates things by using a diverse group of individuals of varying ages, experience levels, and areas of expertise. It can impact customer satisfaction. This approach allows a marketing campaign to attract new customers as well, while making sure that devoted customers are also satisfied. Many of the stockholders that we have will be satisfied as they'll see the campaign demonstrates the company's growth and its reliability for future use. And lastly, this can positively impact Southwest Transit by demonstrating that they have employees who can work under pressure, fostering a brand loyalty, and ultimately, if the campaign is successful, leading to long-term growth and increased stock value. So, like I said, the 4 things we're going to look at is employees, customers, company, and society, and how their value impacts them. So, like we said, for the employees, the team is wanting to preserve jobs, not for just themselves, but for others, and this engagement in development can show job satisfaction and loyalty to the company. Customers will see that the quality of the company is enhanced and they are reliable for travel services, which ultimately leads to a better customer experience. And the company can show that they are efficient, ever growing, and has sustainability, which can boost public perception and show that they are a driver of innovation. And lastly, for society, it creates a sustainability and a greater travel range. With no job loss, they'll actually be providing to the local economy. Here are my references. Thank you for listening.